how do you see your future? I could see. I was like, what? Am I dreaming? Who's this talking to me? Who's this person who's talking to me? I said, then I asked his name. I said, may I have your name, please? He said, I was like, what? I
Yes.
wanted to meet him because I read the book and I was so impressed. I want to meet this 3 or 24. The kind of girl that I was, I don't want to be that ever again. You go in your first job, people will find faults. Others, your seniors will find किसके ऊपर काम डाल दें, किसको छोटा दिखा दें, किसकी गलती बता दें. Blame game, everything. The world will punish you. So when the world punishes you, what you need to do?
Welcome once again to the third episode of Kochi Diaries. And today we have Parul with us. Parul is from Pune. She has been working very closely with a lot of different institutes. And we would like to invite Parul today to talk to us about her journey. What are the challenges she faced? What are the lessons she learned in her life? And most importantly, that big question, has she found the purpose of her life? And if yes, how can she share some insight with us so that we too might be able to do the same for our life? Having said that, let's all welcome Parul. Parul, thank you so much for joining in.
Thank you. Thank you
It's a
so much.
pleasure.
Thank you so much, Mariadas, for having me on this podcast. And it's been a privilege too, for me too, being here and talking to you, talking about so many things that we generally don't discuss and don't talk to. And what a pleasure it is to, be with somebody who's like minded and who's sitting, right, next to you. I would say next to you because it's like a conversation which feels very real. And there you can see, and podcast is something, it is such a thing where sometimes when you speak, when it's not about the host, even it's about the person who's invited. When they speak, they also sometimes do not know those things about themselves, so they also come up with new things. It is also one way to introspect. It is also one way to go deep down inside and then come up. That's the reason I never ask for questions whenever some host invite me, because again it's a process of me also knowing myself.
Yes.
And yeah, so getting back to who I am and how I began this journey. As you all know that my name is Parul Sood, and I call myself as a communication and leadership coach. But in between this identity that I have made for myself, which is leadership and communication coach, it just not, I feel, confines to leadership and communication. It is much more than that, because when you are a coach, it is not only about one particular thing that I'm going to talk about. Because sometimes I also talk about personal branding. Sometimes I talk about, language, or sometimes I talk about sales. And yes, I do talk about leadership because that is a topic which is very close to my heart. And yeah, so as I say that, when we say that we are, and I am 101% sure that everybody goes through this, when what to call themselves when you are a coach, whether you are a communication coach, whether you are a leadership coach, whether you are a relationship coach, or any coach for that matter, right? So everybody goes through this, and they takes definitely 10 days to identify their identity, what they are and what they need to be called, what they need to be known for. And the same happened with me. And initially I thought that I would be good with communication, so let's only be communication. But when I saw that, my content somewhere was motivating people, so I thought, why not to, be a leader, you know be a leader and talk about leadership. And when I started to combine the two, leadership and communication coach, and I also talk about corporate leadership mostly because I've been in corporates, and I know how they function, and how things work around when you are in corporates, and how people, the newbies, you can say the budding managers, or people those who just join corporates, or for that matter people those who've been in same company, sometimes they also struggle to come up with their thought process.
Really.
So that's the problem. Was very close to it was very closely felt by me when I was working, I was into jobs. And there I felt, yes, it's a need, and that's how I identified the gap. And that's how I thought, yes, I must work on this on this gap, to fill this gap where, it can definitely do good to others. So that's how it is, leadership communication, you can call it.
That is absolutely
Yeah.
brilliant, and I love that you started off somewhere, and along the way, the more you started doing it, you reach out to more people, had a lot of impact on their life, and in the meanwhile, people started saying, "Hey, you know what? This is what we would also need help from." So you started transitioning into different roles to take care of those people who needed your help, and that's a very beautiful thing. And I guess as coaches, that is one of the most important thing that I've observed, that all coaches by default, they don't really choose coaching. Coaching happens to them, happened to me as well. But here is what we'll do, Parul. Okay, if you are comfortable, just talk to us about where did you really start from, because a lot of people might want to be where you are today, but they also need to know about your journey. How did you even start? So this is all about
Okay. So this is majorly about coaching only, or this is about how did I start my professional life?
how did you start your professional life. You can even talk about your
Okay.
journey as a kid. How was growing up?
Yes,
What
I will. I will.
things about school, family,
Yes.
anything that you'd like to let the users know about.
Okay, so if you really want an honest kind of start, how I started my career, then I would love to tell you. And before, I would also attach one thing that has always been common in all the professions that I chose was that I was very enthusiastic and I was
Mhm.
open to learning.
Open
Right?
to
Very
them.
enthusiastic and open to learning. So these two things connected me where I went. And in between these, this time, I also realized yes, manifestation is something that works. It is something that I have closely felt. So I am definitely an advocate of manifestation, and I do tell my clients also to visualize and dream big, because things do happen and they take place once you are in that direction. So coming back to how I started my journey. I was 18. Okay, I was 18 and I just finished my school, and I was preparing myself for graduation. No fancy degrees, if you talk about, nothing of that sort, that I wanted to be an engineer or somebody. I was always a dreamer. And
Mm.
I never knew anything. If you ask me, how do you see your future? I could see nothing.
Mm.
Believe me. So I was not futuristic. I had no idea what will happen in future. I would not call myself dumb, but I was a person who couldn't see the future, who was happy in the present. And that's how I took decisions also in my life. And when I was 18, I lost my father that year. And somewhere I felt, oh, who's going to look after me
Mm.
now? And although I have my brothers, they are both elder to me, and one is about 10-year older to me, and the other is 5. So both are elder. And but still, father is father. Somewhere I felt, I need to be something. Then, there was a need of, getting into some job or getting into something. It was not, there was no financial constraint, no problem, but still, I felt, what will I do now? So that question came to my head, and I thought, yes, I need to do something. And I picked up a summer job. And what that summer job was, doing part time, along with studies, I was doing my BSc at that time. And while I was doing my graduation, I picked up a job in school, where I was teaching kids, little kids. And what I taught them, computer was the subject, which was fairly, newly introduced in schools. So that was the subject which I picked up. And I started, teaching them through computer, that is learning through computer, and other is learning about computer. So both of the things I was doing, these are the components of computers, how this is a desktop, or this is a laptop, or how it functions. So this is around what you can call it 2002. This was 2002. Or so this was a, I think 4 hours job I used to do in a day. And but I learned a lot, and glad always that the mentors that I got, I had I have I had always been very observant. I used to observe them a lot when it comes to public speaking, when it comes to, whenever it came to public speaking, or whenever it came to, managing things and structuring things and planning, and everything was learned after the school. So in my profession, I did. And after that, I moved on to another school. And then I realized, school is not going to be, something that I'm going to enjoy. No, I don't want this. And I was good with words and writing and with language that time. So I was going through this Times Ascent. I hope you know that newspaper
Yes,
which
yes,
had
yes.
all the jobs.
Yes.
So I was going through that paper. I was just flipping through the papers, thinking that, oh, I have not done anything in life. I don't know how to do things, and I really am nowhere. I was Dehradun that time. So my Dehradun is my hometown. I was there, and there I see a job. Okay, it is about you know definitely about Archie's Limited, the
Yes, yes,
leading greeting
absolutely.
card industry, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
they needed a verse writer and design coordinator.
Okay.
So verse writer is somebody who writes for them,
Yeah. Got it.
right? And there and that back then it was people used to handwrite their resumes and handwrite their cover letters, and they
Okay.
specifically used to ask people to handwrite their cover letters and then send. And I sent my resume via post. There were no emails, right?
Amazing.
So there were emails, but people never relied on mails,
Mm.
right? So, and even if there was internet, it used to be very slow. So the moment you open things, you know how they used to open back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and then you see a picture opening up.
Mm.
So because the internet connection used to be like that.
Correct.
Okay, so
Correct.
I applied and I got through. They asked me, when can you join? I was like, yeah, moving to Delhi. So I was happy, as I was, since I told you that, I was an all time learner and I wanted to just taste waters
Mm.
everywhere. And I was like, I'm going. I immediately left Dehradun, went and shifted to Delhi. So
Mm.
I worked there. That was again a wonderful experience. And human mind is such, believe me, the more you get wherever you go, whatever journey you take in your life, you will get bored someday. Someday you will feel something new needs to be there. I need to do
Yes.
something else. Now, this is not it. This is what I have experienced. So, human mind is such. But believe me, before that, I'm coming to, in between this also, I'll just let you know that I would like to let you know that, I was a person who was very open minded, and I always had very liberal views,
Okay.
very secular, very liberal, and they were all. And whenever I spoke to people, they asked me, "Have you done some course from Landmark, or have you done some course from Art of Living?" So imagine
Mm.
your own content, your own views also need to have now copyright. Is something
Mm.
that I felt even that point of time, that you need to have copyright even for what you speak, how you
Totally.
speak, right? Because people didn't believe me. Whatever I spoke, whatever good things I told people, whatever the kind of resilience and grit and perseverance and patience that I showed at that point of time when I was what 22 or 23, people did not believe me, and they were like, you must have done some Art of Living course, that's the reason you are able to talk like this. So again, that's one pointer, one pointer that there are ways of ways that God shows you things what you're good
Very
at,
true. Very
right?
true.
So that's one thing I realized, these are my thoughts and they're not believing in me.
Mm.
They feel that I've copied somewhere and I'm saying it, because Archie's was all about writing good stuff, and selling good stuff. It was all about words. Archie's
Mm.
was all about words, and words sell.
Very true.
So yeah, so when I spoke good and when I said, okay, one should not do this or one should do this, so kind of not a preacher, but I motivated people a lot in organization. So when I
Mm.
motivated people a lot in that organization, what I felt was, I realized, yes, there is something, but I had no clarity. I really had no clarity. And one fine day, while I was sitting in my office, so
Mm.
there I got my hands on this book. The name of this book is Freedom is Not Free by Shiv Khera. My
Okay.
cousin gave me that book. He said, Didi, why don't you read this book? I said, okay. I was not a book reader by that time. I was like, okay, you tell me the gist. I don't want to read the book. I was
Mm.
such a person.
Mm.
Okay, so whenever somebody recommended any book to me, I used to ask them, okay, you tell me the story, because I did not have that patience to go through, flip through the pages and read that time. So I said, no, no, I can't read the books. Why don't you tell me? He said, no, you have to read this. Why don't you read it? I said, okay, theek hai, I'll read it. I took that book. I took that book to office, and I, started reading that book. And in a matter of, I think, 3 to 4 hours, I finished that book, because I felt there is somebody who's sitting right next to me and talking to me.
Mm.
I could imagine the author sitting right next to me and speaking to me and telling me all of those things, and I was so involved into all of those things that I just could get all the gist of that book in the matter of 4 hours. I read it fully, and when I finished that book, I was like, it's an amazing book. And maybe at that point of time, I must have felt that that's an amazing book, and I was like, who is this person? Then I read the blurb. So people generally buy the book when they read the blurb, and then and then they buy the book. With
Correct.
me, I read the book first, and I had no idea who the author is. And then I turned the book, I turned the book, and I looked at the back and said, oh my God, such a great person. Who is he? Who is Mr. Shiv Khera? I had no clue who Shiv Khera is. I said, okay, this book, this is an amazing book. This is by Mr. Shiv Khera. And somewhere in the universe, मैंने अपने मुंह से सिर्फ ये शब्द निकाला, इनसे तो मिलना पड़ेगा,
Correct.
और या इनसे तो मिलना चाहिए. So this was about a Wednesday, one of the Wednesdays that when I read this book, Wednesday, I read, and now you must know what happened after that. After that, Wednesday, I read the book. I said, I want to meet this guy. I even told the office staff, those who, my colleagues and everybody, I said, one must read this book. It's an amazing book. So they were like, Pavel, you are in other world only. I don't know, where are you always lost? So some of my colleagues said this, and they just took it very lightly. And even I took it very lightly. So this was a Wednesday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Saturday, I get a call. I receive a call, and there's somebody, I know that somebody, and they are in touch with me. He had been my mentor, and he had been my manager when I was in Delhi. So he calls and he says, we found your resume on Naukri. Would you like to come down for an interview tomorrow? I said, what is this interview about? And it's tomorrow is Sunday. I said, tomorrow is Sunday. Who keeps an interview on a Sunday? So I said, no, yes, interview is on Sunday only. Why don't you come? I said, okay, but what office is it? Is it, and what job is it? So he said, no, this job is about, business development, and we want people for sales and marketing. And this is Mr. Shiv Khera's organization. I was like, what? Am I dreaming? Who's this talking to me? Who's this person who's talking to me? I said, then I asked his name. I said, may I have a name, please? He said, I'm Sunil Bhatia. I'm the business head here. So I was like, totally shocked. And this is a real story, and this is a real example of manifestation that I give to everybody, that things happen. In my case, it just happened in a matter of 3-4 days, but manifestation and visualization and keeping spirits high always work, right?
No doubt about it.
So when you have your spirits high, believe me, because that had happened with me. I was always high spirited, as I told you, always lived in the present, never planned the future. I had although one should plan the future, one should have some strategy in life. That's what I feel now. But at that point of time, I was like, no, I want to work with him, So even before giving the interview, I was like, mera selection ho jaye. Oh my God, I want to go. I went on a Sunday, and I was so spellbound seeing him and the personality. And I was like, this can't be real. I just read his book, and he's right there in front of me conducting this interview. And it was very impressive.
That person is a legend.
It is.
When I was growing up, I was just in my college. I think I still have his book. Has to be. See? So me and my wife both have the copy. You can win.
You can win. I do have You Can Win. I have Freedom Is Not Free also.
Yes.
And,
so that was in fact one of the first books someone recommended that I should read if I, looking at from college perspective, looking at a little serious about life, to do something else. So that was the first book someone recommended. So I have it. In fact, my wife also has it. So 2 copies right here on the desk. An amazing person. and I'm very happy and very glad that you got all this amazing opportunity. Just
Yes.
one question here. You said you have manifested a lot of things. You believe in that concept of manifestation. Is there anything else you would like to tell us about other things that you have manifested?
Okay, so there are so many things. Some are very personal also, and some that I would like to tell you is this. One is that meeting Mr. Shiv Khera is what I manifested, and I got the job also, and I worked with him. I worked with him firsthand, like this. The way we are talking, we sat and we worked. There was no online; it was only offline office that time. So I used to go daily to Vasant Vihar, and I worked with him, and it was tremendous learning. I
Mm,
assisted him also in training programs, and that's how love for corporate trainings and love for trainings began, because how things happen and how things function started
wow.
from that time. But now coming back to the question that you asked about manifestation, yes, there have been there I may not be able to tell you what I manifested and how it worked with me, and some, because some are very personal and some things are okay, but I will just tell you the process how it works
Yes,
you know
sure.
okay, the process. If you want to manifest something, first of all, make a wish,
Mm,
right? Make a wish, leave it aside, and don't be after that wish. Don't get attached to that wish.
mm,
Simply don't get attached to that wish. Simply leave it to the universe to work. Because the universe will work for you. You don't have to work towards it. Universe will work for you. What you need to do is keep your spirits high and
mm,
accept each day as it comes. And third thing, your thoughts need to be really clear. Your
mm,
thoughts need to be away from all malice, thinking bad about others, or wishing somebody ill, or bad, or sickness, or whatever. You don't have to do that. You have to keep your heart very pure and clear
mm.
to receive that. To
Wow.
receive that. So this is what I feel. So and never judge people, because as I told you, I had always been very liberal and secular about things. My The way the our upbringing was. My father, they've also taught us things. We've always stayed together. We never considered about what religion is, what who is from what religion, and kaun chota kaun bada. So we've not really thought about all of those things. But how we've grown up is gives you this kind of attitude, that
Okay.
then you don't have any malice for somebody. If somebody is growing, you clap for them. That's
Mm.
number one. When you are happy for others, God is watching.
Very
If the
true.
universe is watching, when you are happy for others, this will function. This definitely good things are going to happen with you. But
Amazing.
somewhere down the line, if you feel usko mil gaya, main reh gaya, when you
Mm.
the moment you have this comparison, it will not take you anywhere, right?
Mm.
So it's all about feel happy for others, be happy for others, keep your heart very clear, and free from all malice and bad thoughts, and always be in high spirits, always do the right thing, right thing as in what you're expected to do. Keep doing your work, keep doing your hard work, because hard work is something. Now people say that one should replace it with the smart work. No,
Mm.
this is absolutely wrong. What I feel is hard work is there to build the foundation, is what my thought is. You
No
know,
substitute for hard work. Then.
no substitute for hard work. Hard work is there to build the foundation, and smart work comes when you need to build the systems,
Mm.
right? Smart work is to build the system, and hard work is to build the foundation. And no foundation is built on smart work. Foundations are always built on hard work, and smart work is only there for the sustainability and to keep that going into the system. Yes,
Here's a question coming your way.
yes,
And you said about the process of manifestation, and how one you have to make that wish, leave it aside, not get attached to it, but at the same time keeping the spirit high, as well as having no malice in your heart, no evil thoughts, no impure thoughts for yourself or others. It is
correct.
absolutely brilliant, and I myself have manifested a lot in my personal as well as professional life, and I truly believe it actually happens. with the right intent. In fact, I've been, in my experience, somewhere what I've noticed is you wish for something, and if you're believing in God, that is one aspect of it. You either grow spiritually or whatever you want to call it, even if you want to call science, vibrational energy, universe, whatever. But what I've noticed is you have to match the frequency. Sometimes
Yes.
what you want versus how you're acting, if they're not on the same wavelength, they are not vibrating at the same wavelength, you will never get it. So,
Yes.
how do you do it? Do you possibly practice meditation? Any other thing that you could tell us how to keep that vibration matching? What do you suggest?
Okay, I would suggest one simple thing. Generally, people think meditation is an art, and meditation is something that people learn, and people also think that meditation is something that's very tough,
Hmm.
right? People feel that, but somewhere down the line, what I feel is everybody has the capacity to heal themselves, right?
Right.
Everybody on this earth has the capacity to heal themselves. Even our wounds, they get healed, if you give it time. So,
Right.
exactly the same way, when you have the capacity to heal yourself, but
Hmm.
sometimes, it's the trust. It's the trust that is missing.
Hmm.
We don't trust ourselves and our abilities, is the problem, right?
Right.
So, the thing is that when I said that, we need to, what is meditation? Meditation is actually nothing, it is mindfulness. It
Hmm.
is only the reminder that you keep giving to yourself. It could be deep breathing for somebody. It could be, shavasana for somebody.
Hmm.
Meditation could be, for somebody, it could be their passion. For some people, it could be their morning walk. For some people, it is sitting with plants and taking care of plants. So, meditation, I believe, is nothing. It's generally people think it is, controlling your thoughts and thinking about something constantly is meditation. No. For me, meditation is when you find your purpose and passion, when you find when meditation is also a reminder, that what you need to be, a reminder that you keep giving to yourself, that something that you love to do. So to find out what you love to do is you need to understand your instincts, right? If suppose for example I like to go in nature, I like morning walk, I like exercising, so instead of lying down and sitting in shavasana, I would do what I like to do, is what meditation for me. That gives me, that's a natural tendency for me to heal myself. Because for example, Maryadas, I'll tell you, if you like plants, if you like taking care of plants, for example, you would daily get up, you will take care of your plants, you'll just do the tilling and do everything, give them good soil and manure and water the plants, and you'll love it, love to see it grow. When the process of nurturing, maybe you
Right.
like nurturing, you like to do that. So that gives you happiness, that gives you that peace, and that peace is something that heals us, is what meditation is.
That's a very
Something that,
beautiful take. That's a very beautiful take on meditation. From what I've heard, a lot of people usually think about meditation is just sitting, closing your eyes, and breathing, and as you rightly said, trying to declutter their mind.
that
But
works too, that
yeah,
works too, believe me, that works too. That is the basic from where you start. That
mm,
is the basic from where you start to control your thoughts, because that is needed. You need to sit in a quiet place, give yourself time, build a relationship with yourself, trust yourself. That's a building process, that's building relationship with yourself. So till the time I don't build a relationship with myself, I will trust what everybody will tell me about myself,
right, right.
right?
So you have to know yourself first.
You have to know yourself. Till the time, I repeat that, till the time you don't build a relationship with yourself, you will believe on what others will tell you about yourself.
Wow.
That may not be true, right? Then you'll trust, oh, मैं तो बुरा ही हूँ, मैं तो खराब ही हूँ. When we label people, how we
Yeah,
label people.
very
So,
true.
that's what I'm saying. Now, that is one step which is needed to build a relationship with yourself, to find your instinct, to find your happiness, to do journaling. Journaling in a way, journaling. Yes, some people find it good when they write. I feel very relaxed when I write, but I don't generally like write. I think a lot. So, as coaches, what we do is we go deep down by asking questions. Why don't we do the same for with ourselves? So the same way, when we ask questions to ourselves, what happens? We get to clarity. And when we get to clarity, we build a relationship with ourselves. And when we build a relationship with ourselves is what meditation for me. Meditation for me is my clear thoughts for me. And if I am clear, my thoughts are going to be clear for others. And then I'm ready to give, is what my purpose is. Initially, you asked, what purpose is and how can you give. So, Maria Das, the thing is giving. People think giving. Now, I'll come to that. Should I say about that? Because
No,
it's,
we can talk about it, but there's some more things, just
yeah.
a follow-up question to what you have been beautifully articulating. So, one of the things that I've also noted down here is, and let me ask you that. You spoke about the power of word and manifestation, right? And obviously, now that you're talking about is you have to wish for it. And I have also read it. I personally believe this that people don't realize how much power the words they are thought about themselves. How they see themselves versus what others say. How much it is important, because people might say, "Hey, you're stupid. You don't know how to get this thing done." But the more you keep listening to it, and if you start absorbing it, then it becomes a problem. For example, I keep telling this to my participants in my training and coaching also. A boat will never drown, although it is surrounded by water from all sides. It only will sink when the water starts getting in. So if you have a lot of negativity around you, doesn't matter, you will not sink till you let that negativity get inside you. You let those thoughts get inside your mind that you're not worthy, you're not good enough, you're not good for nothing, and that is when the actual problem occurs. So while you're talking about manifestation, meditation, if you'd like to especially talk to us power of words, and for all the viewers who might be watching, especially young people, because they are just caught up with so many things to do, they don't find time to actually meditate. So what would you recommend? How can someone get started on that journey to meditation?
First of all, I'll let you know how a person can start a journey, meditation journey. But for these people, what I would suggest is, if you would like to start this meditation journey, 50% of the job is done because you want to do it, right? There's a want, there's a need, you want to do it. So when there's a want, you will take action towards it, right? Second is, see, you need to understand what is that one thing that you like the most, right? It could be anything. We need to go deep down inside and dig it and find it out what we like to do, whether we like to write, whether we like to listen to music, whether we like to sing, whether we like to love nature, mountains, beaches. What is that thing that gives you peace? Once you find the peace, I'm not talking about purpose, once you understand where you get your peace is a place where you can start your meditation journey, right? And to find that out, yes, you need to build a relationship with yourself. And to build a relationship, I would suggest you to give yourself some quiet time, some thinking time. It's not controlling your thoughts, controlling the surroundings, or finding a quiet place. Even if you're not finding a quiet place, nowadays it is so easy. Just put the earphones, in your ears and just block the noise. Block the noise, find that place, find yourself, find an understanding, because meditation is not about lying down and just having good thoughts. Meditation is nothing if it is not converted into mindfulness, and meditation is nothing if it is not converted into execution, which is taking action,
Very true.
because that is going to build you. No affirmations can do anything. So no affirmations.
Affirmations work in your experience? Do affirmation work? Should people do affirmations?
It works. Affirmations, actually, the way we have advertised it has made it really bad, because people have lost trust in affirmations, is what I feel. But it is such a powerful thing. Affirmations do help. And affirmations it is reminding yourself of the purpose. It is reminding yourself of what you want in life. It is okay. For example, if my son doesn't write, I made him write that you write it here. I will start to write. No, it should first of all be in present tense. That I write beautifully and everybody is fond of me. I write beautifully and everybody is fond of me. I made him write. I asked him to put it over the notice board and I asked him to read it daily. I did not ask him to just say it, remember it, keep saying it. No. I used to call him. I said, Kabir, come here, read this. Come here, read this. Come here, read this. He used to come, and one fine day, how he practiced, okay, I know what to read. Without even seeing that, he just said it. So I write beautifully and everybody is fond of me. Okay, mama, bye, done. I'm going. So if you know, he may not notice the change because he's too small to notice the change. But I know that the change has become a part of his life. He started
Correct.
writing beautifully, and people are becoming fond of him because he has started showing that interest in people's behavior and people's thoughts and everything. But when will people become fond of you? When you give them that time,
Very
right?
true.
When you give them that time, when you listen to them, and when you say that I write beautifully, you have said it yourself. That means you write. I said the
Very
change
true.
has taken place because you've just said it. So
Mm.
it is a process. It is not a overnight journey. You say it today and today tomorrow it will happen. It is only a way to program your subconscious mind. So
Correct.
how you are programming your subconscious mind is what affirmation is, and how that's how affirmations will work. So
Um,
naming it as affirmation, because my student the other day, okay, I make everybody do the affirmation even if they are coming for interview course, right? Because yes, too, the first thing is the mindset.
Very
Because
true. Very
most
true.
of the times when people come, they feel so low about themselves that they think I can't even do it. But yeah,
Very true.
let me just start with this class. So I said,
Mm.
no, you can do it. Everybody has the capacity, and as a coach, since we are coaches, so we know how to bring the best out in them. So
Yes.
that's the reason, I make them do this. I said, you have to say this daily, I am this, even
Mm.
if you don't believe in it. So the other girl, I conducted her communication session. I took that. So she said, I don't believe in this. She said it. And when she gave me a review, you can see that if that's there, that's been put on LinkedIn also, the video. In that video, she mentioned that I did not believe in affirmations initially, but yes, they do work, because
Mm.
that's how we train our mind, that's how we train our mind. So
That is
affirmations do work.
brilliant. No, that
Yes.
is absolutely brilliant. And just shifting the focus in terms of the flow, obviously what you have achieved, especially what you're doing for your clients, for a lot of the students, as a mother, you're doing certain things for the kids. As a wife, you're doing things for your husband and the in-laws. But in all of this thing, right from when you were a kid, right, you might have had a lot of challenges. Uh,
Yes.
is there one challenge that you were like, oh, you know what, I don't know whether I'll be able to overcome this? And what did it teach you? Like for me, as you mentioned that you lost your father at when you were young, I also lost my father when I was young. And what happened to me interestingly is I'm the youngest in the house. Okay. For some reason, I said I have to now take care of the family in my mind. All this is happening in my mind. By the way, no one is forcing me. My elder brother, sister, they are not telling me anything. But right there in my mind, I'm like, hey, you know what? I have to start becoming a man now. I don't want to be a child anymore. I want to be a man. I want to take care of myself, my responsibility, take responsibility of the family also. So I saw a lot of change, a shift happen in me. So when I started my college also, my focus, although yes, I was absolutely brilliant in terms of studies, but my focus is also, okay, what can I do, even if it's like some side hustle, so that I can start earning. I don't have to be really dependent on the family for the pocket money. So small gigs here and there. This is how I started in my career. Small events, one day event, some promotional events. I remember standing in one of the malls for 4 hours shift and selling HP printer. Yeah, I was paid how much? Some 300 rupees that day. But for me, it was really good because I could buy my train pass and I didn't have to ask money from the family. Small
Wow.
shift in the mindset, but it really changed me as a person. So, what is something that changed you? One challenge that you had which was difficult, but you overcame, and what is the lesson that you've learned?
There are many, many things. There are many, many things, but yeah, one thing especially I would like to mention is uh, when I was when I was young, I believed in everybody.
Mm.
And I, believe me, I had no roadmap, and I was vulnerable, very vulnerable, and I had really no idea, how to trust yourself and how to build a relationship, as I told you. But yes, there had been, and it came very naturally to me. I didn't go to any coach, or I didn't go to any trainer, or I did not go to any therapist. So what I feel is that, when I was around 23, that till that time, I've 23 or 24. The kind of girl that I was, I don't want to be that ever again.
Mm.
I don't want to be that. You know why? And I would like to, the advice also that I would like to give to myself, when I was 18, that when I was 18, I should have had the mindset that I have today.
Yes.
Because when I was 18, I believed in everybody,
Mm.
and I was a people pleaser.
Mm.
And some suffering, something that took place in around, 20, when I was 23, 23 and a half, or 24. I don't know, very naturally, I just said it to myself that I want to heal myself now.
Mm.
I don't know how it functions. I don't know how it works. I don't know if there are any healers around. It's just that I asked the universe, I said, I want to heal myself, and I want a better life. I don't want a life like this. I want a better life, and I want to be my friend. If no one can be, I am going to be my friend. Is what advice I gave to myself. These three, four things I said to myself, and I never looked back. Believe me. And that was the time that Archie's took place, and I moved out of my hometown. And then there was never a full stop. I never stopped after that. No.
That's so beautiful, so profound. And and just to add to what you said is being your friend first, I think somewhere, especially for all the people who are watching viewers, especially if you're young, great advice. Be your best friend. Not
Being your
just
best
be your
friend.
best friend.
And always forgive yourself. Forgive yourself also. Be your best friend and forgive yourself, because there would be many chances people will always be after your life.
Mm.
When you are young, one more thing I would like to add to it. When you are
Yes.
young, when you are, in your school, only two people correct you. Two people will correct you. Who? Your teachers will correct you, your parents will correct you. Once you are 18, and once you go out of your job, once you go out of your home, or once you go out in job, nobody will correct you. People will start punishing you.
Mm.
Nobody will correct you. You go in your first job, people will find faults. Others, your seniors will find किसके ऊपर काम डाल दें, किसको छोटा दिखा दें, किसकी गलती बता दें. Blame game, everything will start there. So when you are young, your parents and your teachers will correct you, they'll guide you, but after that, the world will punish you. So when the world punishes you, what you need to do? This is an advice for youngsters. When the world starts to punish you, you need to be your friend first and forgive yourself. Because if till the time you don't forgive yourself, it will not happen. Nothing will happen. So that's the first step towards the meditation. Okay, I made a mistake. I want to forgive myself. And forgiveness start with not repeating the same thing.
Mm.
Right? When once you forgive yourself, you know that I don't want to repeat this. I don't have to repeat this. So again, forgive yourself, and be your friend, because
Good.
nobody will be your friend if you're not.
That is the most beautiful thing that I've heard uh, anyone speak. Yes, especially as young people, we have made a fair share of mistakes. All of us have, for sure. And if you have not, then you need to get a life. You have to go experiment, do things, make mistakes perfectly alright. But yes, forgive yourself, and rather than finding that sort of attention or that care and love uh, in someone else, start doing that to yourself. Beautiful advice. Here's
Thank you.
something I would want, if you're comfortable to talk about. You have spoken about your journey. Now that you are into leadership coaching, you also do corporate training, and you do a lot of students, like individual as well as corporate, right? You do a lot of coaching for them. What is that one change you have observed in yourself?
One change that I have observed in myself is I have become more close to me.
Wow.
This is what I feel, and that gives me clarity, and that gives me the ability to direct the other person correctly, without any malice, without any any expectation. So this
Brilliant.
is what I feel, that I have built a better relationship with myself. Also, I would like to add to it, and why you need to build a better relationship with yourself, to fill other person's glass with knowledge. You need to fill yourself first, right? You need to have that knowledge to give the other person that knowledge. Exactly the same way, you need to save yourself first before saving the other person,
Amazing.
right?
Totally right.
That's what they say in airplane. Put on your mask first,
Put on your mask.
even before you don't have, even if you have a child in your hand, put on your mask first, right?
Yes.
Save yourself first, because once you save yourself, then only you'll be able to save the other person.
So
आपका पेट भरा होगा, आप तभी दूसरे को खाना खिला पाओगे.
very true.
So
Very true.
here I would let everybody know, when once you build a relationship with yourself, first you have to be selfish also. Selfish to first fill your plate, so that then only you will have energy to take care of other people's troubles,
Wow. Wow.
right? So yes, slightly selfish, because yes, you need to first fill your plate. Yes, give others also, but don't die, okay? Because you have that, keep some for yourself, so that you have that energy to give further, give more.
Beautiful.
So save your energy. That is what I say. So yes, I do go by that line that airline generally tell to people: save yourself first, put on your mask first, and then save others.
That is absolutely brilliant.